ago, firms in the institutional finance space just didn't believe in brand. Now everyone is on board. Everyone understands that brand is powerful and impactful to their bottom line. So what you're seeing is a real maturation in the space, and you're seeing a lot of spend go into real world-class marketing.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, even if you think about live videos such as this, would you expect asset managers to have done this even 5 to 10 years ago? So to have them on at a conference like this is just incredible. You're moderating a panel with leading institution on innovations in institutional investing. What should we expect from that session?
Well, it's an interesting time for the LP-GP relationship because liquidity is down, capital fundraising is very difficult. So I think there's a lot to talk about in that relationship, and we're going to talk about the dynamics of how that relationship has changed, what LPs are looking for in GP relationships, and how GPs can really set themselves apart in their fundraise.
Well, it's interesting, LP-GP events like SALT have really taken off. Why are they so explosive at the moment?
So the conference scene, or the fundraising conference scene, things like SALT, is explosive right now. A lot of factors. Number one, fundraising has never been more difficult, so everyone's out trying to raise money, and these conferences are an efficient way to do that. I think also what we're talking about, building your brand. I mean, founders like Dan Loeb and others are on stage making sure they've got awareness around their brand, so conferences actually offer a bottom line opportunity to meet LPs and raise money, and also an opportunity to build brand. So it's kind of a very efficient thing to do.
I mean, it makes so much sense for capital introduction.
Yes.
It's a little bit easier face-to-face when you're in a conference setting, I would imagine. What's a major trend you're seeing in the alternative and broader investment management space that you've seen more demand from clients about?
Yeah. Well, there's a few. I mean, one is the democratization of alternatives, the wealth channel. That's probably the biggest trend in private markets right now. Credit is obviously an explosive space, and you're also seeing alternative assets have a bit of a comeback, or digital assets, I should say. You see a lot more of that at this year's conference than you did last year.
What about the Middle East becoming a hub of institutional capital?
I'm glad you brought that up. I should have mentioned the Middle East. So the Middle East obviously is, if you're an entrepreneur and you really want to make it, go to the Middle East. The Middle East is explosive. It's really spending in every way, shape, or form to modernize, but also those LPs, those sovereigns, are where a lot of larger funds can actually get checks now. So you're seeing a ton of activity there. We opened office there in the last couple of years to help our clients navigate all the sovereign wealth funds over there and everything else.
All right, Jen, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me from SALT in New York City. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.